Well, hello and welcome and welcome and hello and hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning in to this very special evening edition of Un Poco Mas. Very busy at work today, was unable to bring you guys a video, but I know it is hump day. I know many SoFi investors are discouraged um, because we turned in another really, really solid, I wouldn't say great ER, but damn close. I mean, it was about as good as anybody could hope for. You're talking about from the street a 5 cent beat on EPS, a huge beat at the top, a huge beat on the bottom, and a really good size guidance raise. I know before the before the guidance raise, the upside on the top line revenue growth, the high side, they were looking at 31%. And now they're looking at 34% top line revenue growth this year, which is just outstanding guidance. They continue to raise EBITDA. Um, Look at how Upstart and Affirm reacted. I mean, they sort of reacted a lot more rationally to the earnings. One just fell apart. One had a really nice surprise to the upside. You see a lot of short activity with some of those stocks as well, but fintech has just been extremely volatile. Fintech is a new industry. It's kind of like EV in the sense that most of the companies in the space are not yet profitable. So you wind up with this weird situation where you have these fast growing sectors that everybody wants to invest in, but a lot of the companies, institutions, and such find uninvestable. So you wind up with these valuations that are just all over the place, very subjective. Again, you can't even get people to agree on what sector SoFi is in. You can't even get people to agree to what it is. And I'm seeing people completely misinterpret the chart. Like I don't understand what people are doing, guys. People are drawing this big wedge coming up here from 1170 as if this pump is a functional part of the analysis you're going to do when doing a chart that goes back, 5 months. It's just some of these people are just stupid. They're talking about key levels, and these are the three key levels I gave you. I said basically it's going to go up through these three green lines, and it's going to knock down the 50-day moving average, which indeed it did. But then, guys, this candle here is very, very critical in terms of the short algo, the bearish algos, whatever you want to call it. Pushing down extremely, extremely hard whenever this stock approaches the 50-day moving average. The problem I think these guys are going to run into is that they were fundamentally wrong in their bet against SoFi. SoFi continues to perform at an extremely high level, beating everyone's expectations, just blowing everyone's expectations out of the water, quarter after quarter after quarter. Um, no other fintech has been in this position. Robinhood shows weakness for many reasons. Of course, had a Upstart had basically a horrible quarter, and then Affirm just came out and they had a great quarter. Now, I don't know what Affirm did after hours, but I bet it popped, I don't know, 14%, something like that. Let's see. 11%. Okay, so I mean, I would have probably expect this to hold those gains. I don't know if there's still, as large a short position on a firm, but Upstart I think fell apart to the downside. Like, what was it? Yeah, 27% today. So there are extreme reactions that generally are logical in their nature to earnings report. Not so with SoFi because while results matter, these short attacks are pre-programmed in. You could see the market makers, at least the stupid, weak, smaller hedge funds, I believe. Different actors, they have different reasons. I'm sure some of the big guys are shorting SoFi as well. But you basically see it every single day, guys, since $8.25. They have been borrowing, shorting the SoFi stock. Today's no different. Like, there was no data yesterday. It was kind of weird. Monday, guys, 14 million shares net borrowed. Today, during trading all the way up, there was, 2 million plus net borrowed. And then after hours, right at the close, that plummeted to -1. So a lot of this data, guys, it's just not adding up. It's just not making sense. I just think logically, guys. I mean, I know there's some weak hands out there, but logically, what long retail investor sees that growth, sees that ER, hears management, Lapointe and Noto basically say we have very little doubt, almost no doubt, that we're going to turn a gap net profit this quarter. And remember, when they're talking, guys, a week ago, they're already a month into Q4. At the present time, there's only like, you know, 6 trading weeks left in this quarter. And remember, as we go into the holidays, there's going to be, markets are going to be closed certain days. So the shorts really have their backs against the wall. And I just think their position is completely illogical. So instead of giving up after this ER, they've dug deeper. And the only thing I can see the shorts sort of relying on at this point is that between now and the end of 2023, there's going to be some kind of unforeseen disaster that just, cripples the economy, drives us into a deep recession. Um, maybe they thought there was going to be more interest rate hikes, but just logically, factually, the shorts thought SoFi was going to turn in a lackluster earnings report that they could attack. Remember, guys, when I was talking a lot about the EBITDA plateau, where you saw SoFi hit 70, 75, 71. Basically, EBITDA had plateaued for 3 quarters, and EPS basically showed that. It wasn't moving the needle at all. I think a lot of the shorts thought SoFi was going to show weakness on that. I thought the shorts felt they were going to be extremely weak on student loan originations. Of course, big surprise to the upside there. It was basically surprises to the upside all over the place. And the biggest one, I think, that really threw them was the deposit growth. I mean, the smart money was calling for, oh, maybe they get 2 billion again. Maybe it's, they'd be very lucky if it's the same as the previous quarter, which I think was 2.3 billion in deposit growth. And what happens? I mean, SoFi comes out and almost hits 3 billion deposit growth, like old DannyDealz told you they were going to do. Um, and, what do the analysts do? The analysts, of course, for their part, come at you with these ungrades. Like, look at these bullshit analysts, how they really just go after the SoFi stock. Remember in Misery, like Kathy Bates hobbling the Jimmy Kahn character? Like, dude, that's what these analysts are trying to do. They're just trying to, like, club our foot. I don't know what's wrong with these guys, but look at these upgrades. Like, look historically at these turds, like this turdish trio, the three lame amigos. Okay, upgrade. Morgan Stanley upgrades from underweight to equal weight while maintaining a $7 price target. Oh, and this has gotten so much press. I mean, I'll take the press for the upgrade, but come on. I mean, come on, guys. Like, that's most people look at price targets. What really matters? Like a label you put on underweight, equal weight. Okay, so you stopped saying sell because the price went down. I mean, such weak sauce turds. UBS, the unnamed analyst, came in at neutral, also at 7. This whole narrative they're trying to create is like, oh, SoFi's too early. It's still too weak. It's still worth 7. We're just not seeing enough yet. Like, what do these guys want to see? You want to just come slap them across the face with net profit? Mizuho, of course, Dolev reiterated the buy, raised from 9 to 15. He's a huge SoFi bull, always has been. Look at these now. Look at these downgrades when they wanted to spread maximum FUD last quarter. Look at Keith Bruyette. They downgrade from market to perform to underperform while raising their price target from 550 to 7. Stevens initiated. Oh, coincidentally, equal weight at 7. And then Morgan Stanley downgrades from equal weight to underweight while raising their price target 650 to 7. But all you see in the headlines are and then Compass Point, of course, that's the bologna sandwich, the human forehead, the rocking, bird that's like faking the drink out of the water, the beak, the drive-in movie, the ad space available. That's him, a sell at 5, just coming out of nowhere. Of course, he used to work at another company that was pumping the stock, coincidentally. Then you have the downgrade from Piper Sandler, overweight to neutral, and they're again raising their price target $1.50. I know I've seen this before. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it's not rare that you get all these analysts downgrading in unison while all raising their price targets to 7. I mean, look at these FUD spreading analysts. They love the number 7 because it just has no life. You know, it's just so neutral. It's like, oh, it's already about there. There's no reason to buy the stock. You should buy something else. You know, you should buy new. You should buy PayPal. You know, maybe you should buy whatever. Is anybody here? God, guys, I'm tired. What's going on? What's up, Fawns? I'm Russo, Bobby Joe, Doofus Rufus, Scam Gam, Mr. Premium of the Option, Flint Creek Soap Company. God, you guys are very specific with these names. But basically, guys, I don't want to go into a whole long-winded blah blah rant that I always do, but I'm just telling you, results matter. Results do matter at the end of the day. And the market keeps asking SoFi to prove it to them. Prove that this isn't a fluke. Prove that you're still going to grow. Prove that you can overcome this stock-based compensation. Prove that Galileo and Technesis were not big mistakes and big boondoggles. And I think, you know, over the next year or so, you're going to really see that because they're going to start landing some of these contracts. Now, it's going to take a little while to actually onboard these. I guess this takes, you know, could take up to a couple of years. So this is not instant gratification, guys. But you don't build the AWS of fintech. You don't build this giant software as a service company that has all these recurring revenues at this massive margins. You know, patience is warranted in this instance. And I think the market has to see it. It's like that, you know, movie Searching for Bobby Fischer, the Sir Ben Kingsley character. He's watching him on the closed circuit TV and he's playing the other kid, the evil kid with the dark hair and the dead eyes. And he's like, he's got him. He's got him. And the dad, Joe Montagna, he's like, what? What? What'd you see? He's like, and the Ben Kingsley's just smiling. He's just so happy. He's like, he's got it. It's like, don't move until you see it. So what? See what? See what? He's like, it's 12 moves away, but it's there. Don't move until you see it. And that's what these analysts like. They don't see the chessboard. They don't see the bigger picture. They're not Josh Pliskin. Okay, they're not one of the greatest chess prodigies of all time. You think these morons at Keefe Bruyette and Morgan Stanley, the unnamed analyst at Morgan Stanley, you think these people are the best and the brightest? They would have been investment bankers. They would have been doing this themselves. These guys are hacks. Freaking hacks. And a note about the Chia Pet. You guys are so stupid. The Chia Pet is not wrong. The Chia Pet does not misunderstand SoFi. The Chia Pet is the greatest evil troll in the history of trolling. And he's trolling us hard, guys. He's using our testicles for a speed bag. Okay? This guy is laughing. It's like, and it is pretty funny. Like, but he's just like, up 3, 250, 3 again, 250. And then what he says doesn't happen, and he just says it again. And nobody calls him out. I mean, people are actually starting to call him out, like Fiorio and Noto. I know Steve actually called him out in his article by name. He's like, uh, the Chia Pet, he didn't call him the Chia Pet, but he's like, the Chia Pet said this and that. And of course, it didn't happen. And now here he is again. So, guys, my point is, this is the trifecta of turds that you see always trying to throw cold water on anything that SoFi, you know, when SoFi should run, you see these guys. You see Morgan Stanley, Keefe Bruyette, you see UBS, come in with these little weenie milk toast fake upgrades and like, don't tell me this is an upgrade from underperform to market perform. You don't adjust the price target. All you're doing is trying to put your name at the top of the list and say SoFi's worth $7. You know, kiss my grits, you freaking turds. Um, so there's like the FUD guys, and what I'm saying is, why do I think shorts are praying for calamity and disaster before the end of Q4? What else are they selling, guys? What are they selling people? What are these ass bandits selling? What's going on here? Like I feel like I said, you know, yesterday, I feel like I'm crazy because Usually you short a stock for a reason. You think things are going wrong. The narrative doesn't hold up. The business model's bad. Management's incompetent. The macro's killing them. These analysts, these FUD spreading turds keep wanting to pretend that macro's killing SoFi. But when you read the ER, when you look at the numbers, you look at the growth, it's just not there. Another of the common FUD refrains is valuation. The valuation's too rich. Guys, that is absurd. The valuation is not too rich. You're barely over 3 times this year's sales. 34% top line growth. Massive EBITDA margins. I mean, this company is going to have great net profit margins in the not too distant future. It's not 10 years from now. It's not the end of the decade. SoFi is going to be making solid net profits like 2025, 2026. They're going to get bigger and bigger. Just like EBITDA is doing now, in a couple of years, net profit will be doing that. It follows, guys. Ask somebody who understands the accounting, like Noto or LaPointe. What's going on? Tyler Self, the catfish with a K, guys. By the way, sub Tyler's channel. This guy does really good live streams. He gets deep inside the numbers, like proctologist level deep. And honestly, he sees patterns that I think a lot of us miss, quite frankly. And he also does like acoustic guitar. It's basically a one-man show. Think like Weird Al Yankovic meets, you know, Neil deGrasse Tyson meets Charlie Munger. It's that sort of thing. With the fun, approachable flair that only the catfish brings. Thanks for joining me, catfish. Appreciate you. Morgan Stanley, yeah, Morgan Stanley, 50 downgraded. Yeah, because they're shorting, they're going in and out of the stock. Like these guys have trading desks, guys. They trade. Like they're out there trading stocks. They're making markets. They're creating markets. They have massive amounts of money to throw around. Other people's money. They can do whatever they want. They can lose money in the short term. They just don't give a shit. As long as these traders can afford massive baggies full of pure Peruvian wham wham, they're happy as a clam to lose your money, to attack SoFi. They don't care. These companies are huge. Look at their market caps. Look at how much capital they have. Look at how much these traders have to work with. You think it costs them much to short SoFi a little bit when a bunch of companies are doing it? You're very welcome, Tyler. Thanks for stopping by my live stream. Guys, does anyone else besides Tyler have anything reasonably reasonably intelligent to say? Twisting nipples. Heirloom Cedars twisting our nipples. C-Bar, still at the shop. I'm still at the shop too, C-Bar, still at the office. I don't know how to stream from my house yet. My laptop doesn't do second monitor, OBS. I don't know, guys. I need like a 12-year-old to explain to me what's going on here. The big insider trade, yeah. I know people make so much of this insider selling, guys. And we're like, why don't they hire old people who have a bunch of money in the bank? Well, old people who have a bunch of money in the bank don't want to work for stock. Like they want a big cash salary in addition to the stock. You need young, talented, intelligent people, and you pay them in stock because that's what you have, and you're asking them to have faith in the company. I mean, most of these SPACs, a lot of them like PaySafe or some of these Hylian, they went down to, $1.50 or less, and their stock's worthless. So somebody taking mostly all stock for their salary, then the stock was just at $4 and they see the stock up at $8 and they're like, look, I've got several million shares worth $10 million and I'm in my 30s and that's my whole net worth. I'd like to buy a house and I'd like to make sure my kids, tuition is paid. I'm getting married. You want to do all the things normal people do, but most people get, the vast majority of their pay in cash and salary bonuses. And, whenever they sell in these groups, I feel like it's pre-planned. They're not trying to surprise the market. They're not doing it right before the ER. I really don't think it shows weakness. And I think people assign these motives to it, that just are not there. But that's my opinion. I mean, guys, if you're at all sane and you have the vast majority of your net worth locked up in one asset, I don't care if it's SoFi, I don't care if it's a chicken that lays golden eggs. You should diversify. You should not have all your money in one stock, even if you work at the company. Something can happen. The company can go out of business. I mean, there can be some kind of black swan event, guys. I don't think that's going to happen, but it could. And it's only prudent to diversify your assets slightly. Um, oh, I'm sorry. Hey, it looks like Princess J is here. I missed her hearts. I am so sorry, sweetheart. I am an insensitive lout, as you know. Um, but I love you so much, and I am not able to look at my right hand monitor and read my monitor on the left. So I beg a thousand pardons, my dear. I hope you'll forgive me. And to the rest of you, I don't care if you two turds forgive me or not. But because Princess J is now home from work, and I am probably going to cut this live stream short because I wasn't saying anything really very useful anyway. There are 9 likes and 48 people here, so about 2% of you have liked the broadcast, which is probably, but I'm saying do not like, do not subscribe. You turds have better things to do. Go out, get some fresh air, kiss a girl, you know, go hiking, do something else other than watch YouTube. If you are going to watch YouTube, I mean, this channel's pretty great. We're one of the first. We're one of the first channels on YouTube that actually analyzes stocks without any real expertise or any real point to what we're talking about. There's none of us guys on here. Um, anyway, what's going on, guys? Anybody have anything else to say before I cut out of here? Adam Demonico, Nodo didn't sell. Yeah, I agree, but God, Adam, the guy's bought a ton of stock. And remember, he was buying up at 12. He was buying, before the whole SPAC empire fell apart. Yeah, so he sold, a third of his shares. He had 400,000 shares. That's worth several $1 million. If he sold 1.5 million, and then he has to pay taxes on that, so he's going to keep that. So, he got 100,000 or 800,000 or something at the end of the day. And if they're up in San Francisco, if you live in one of the nicer parts of like the South Bay, San Jose area, 800,000 won't buy you a studio apartment, guys. So I don't know if you live, in the more expensive parts of California, but the prices here are just insane. So even if you're making a couple 100,000 in cash, it's just like nothing. Especially after taxes, especially, again, if you have a family or if like you're young and single, you don't have any deductions, you're just going to be absolutely rolled. So, and maybe they want to just invest in something else, guys. Maybe they work there and they don't think SoFi is the greatest company or the greatest stock. Not everybody, who works at a place is like unanimity of thought or, you know, this isn't Tesla. We're not trying to do like thought control. We're not neurolinking in. So maybe somebody who works at the company sees something they don't like. It'd be interesting. Don't always just assume that because somebody may not like something about SoFi or one of the stocks that you're in love with, that they're wrong and you're right. Like, don't have that confirmation bias. Don't have a thought bubble. It's really important to take a look at the bear case. And to that end, I would like to present you with a bullish article. Pardon me, because I love, still not quite over that little cold from yesterday, but just want to go through this really, really quick, and then I'm going to cut off this live stream. See if anybody's else comments. Oh, Firehouse Pete, what's up? Good to see you, David Redliner, Channel Rocks. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. 20 likes. Thanks, Tyler. Noto now holds 6.5 million. Yeah. South Bay represent. What's going on? Yep, I'm here in the South Bay myself. Been here for a long, long time. Born over in the fair city of Torrance. Myself, don't live there anymore, thank goodness. Chilling by the beach, right on the beautiful Pacific Ocean. Um, C-Bar, dude, there's nothing wrong with Santa Ana. I mean, nothing wrong with $1 million either. You can go, whenever you retire from your little engineering business, you can go wherever you want and live like a fucking king. So that's the move. TMF, guys, Firehouse Pete knows what he's talking about. Let's check him out. Get some cash in hand for Black Friday. Yeah, I got to hit those sales, Tyler. I'm going to go trample some children, get some of the hottest toys of the season. Yeah, he might have sold SoFi to invest in, Dutch Brothers, according to Mopar for Life. And that, guys, don't be thinking Mopar for Life's cheap sitting on a 5.7. It ain't. It's sitting on a 6.4, you turds. So respect. You pull up that line, you ain't going to race him for pinks. Your Tesla, your little single motor Tesla, because he'll smoke you. Of course, you got the dual motor. He's toast. But we don't like to talk. It's not fair, these goddamn electric cars, drag racing. They're like, oh, my Model S. So what? You know? Could beat me in a goddamn, jet airplane too, but what's the big deal? Like motor for motor. You know what I mean? I'm all motor. EV. F you. Instead of EV, I got 2 letters for you. F you. No, I know EVs are important. I don't hate the environment or anything. It's just annoying me. Look, my Tesla is 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, and you built this hot rod with your blood, sweat, and tears, and it's only, 4.5 second car, so I'm better than you. I have a tiny wing, but my car's faster. Um, it's undeniable. It's undeniable. Fuck you guys. Nodo's wife, believe me, she holds. Yeah, more ways than one. Flint Creek Soap Company. Just got a live wire Del Mar, fast as hell. Nice. I'm not really sure what that is. What's a live wire? Is that like a modem? Is that a car? I have no idea. Creed 3, 13F comes in. What do you think we'll see an increased toot ownership? A little bit, but I think it's really going to be after after the ER. I think they really want to see it. I think a lot of these companies, a lot of these pensions, they just are not going to invest pre-profit. It's just the way it is. Oh, EV motorcycle. Very cool. Yep. Engineers always have cool stuff. Like you'd think they wouldn't be any fun. You'd think they'd be humorless, lab coat nerds with a pocket protector, but they actually they're like combine like smart, like academic with like practical. So that mind gets you into a lot of fun shit. So some engineers, they can not only help you do stuff and they're reliable, but they can come up with a lot of fun silliness that you wouldn't expect from an engineer. But C-Bar Engineering, CMB Chang, whatever, the man of many names. He wears many hats, coat of many colors. Got himself an electric motorcycle. Congratulations, guys! I want to go through this article really, really quick. I've got to get the hell out of here. I apologize. It's 8:15 p.m. on. Oh, there, my hearts, Princess J. I love you so much. That's not for you guys. That's for Princess J. You guys are weak. You guys are a bunch of weak sauce turds. I'm going home. Screw you guys. I'm going home. SoFi, 10th consecutive quarter of record revenue driven by diversification and expansion beyond traditional lending. The company demonstrates strength in attracting and retaining a growing customer base. And I've actually read this guy. I think he was neutral on SoFi. He's actually come up. Technical view, SoFi approaches a breakout point early 2024. You're absolutely right. Guys, this is what's so great about this is the technicals and the fundamentals is lining up with this net profit. It's just beautiful. Like it's a beautiful setup. Like this could easily run through 15 early next year. I mean, you want to double up, guys, with very little risk. I'm your Huckleberry. Nodo says that is like, um, uh, if you want to Nodo, if you want to have a man in a windbreaker and you want to double your money with very little risk, like I'm your Huckleberry. Um, I'm the John Madden. Yep. Hey, he just doesn't really. He just runs up the field. He just runs a little post. Like I got 6 turkey legs. Ah, ah, ah. Yeah. Actually, incidentally, that's right. Flint holds 200,000 shares. Even motorcycle. I'm from Humboldt. Oh, cool. Humboldt's fun. I have some brothers up that way, Northern California. My one brother, anyway, is left up there. Don't keep us in suspense. Yeah, guys. Yeah, okay, so let me get through this article and then I'm going to end this live stream unless somebody else has something just earth shattering to say. No, I am going to. So, the investment thesis rapidly evolving financial landscape, SoFi Technologies has emerged as a resilient force, particularly in Q3 2023. Striking development, 10th consecutive quarter of record revenue, defying the monolithic trend of reliance on traditional lending amid a changing interest rate environment, ongoing refinement. Loan repayment dynamics. SoFi shows resilience and an ability to maintain profitable operations. And that's how I didn't understand that. Howard guy on StockTwits, his friend, saying, oh, SoFi's actually losing about $10 billion in cash per year if you think about it. I'm like, no, they're not. Like what he was saying just didn't make any sense to me. I tried to crunch those numbers and I was pretty good at math at one point when I was much, 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 much younger, but just didn't add up what he was talking about. Didn't make any sense. It's kind of a weird like rant, like an anti-Chamath kind of crusade, and then they went into this anti-SoFi thing, and they tried to write this big treatise. I could have, like I said, I could have refuted it point by point. It's just a waste of my time. I don't want to take on anybody with a big axe to grind, guys. Probably um So let me move on through this article if I can stay awake. Our investment strategy for SoFi Technologies is proven prudent, which is very hard to say, with the stock undergoing the anticipated correction from its peak, aligning with our predictions. Yeah, if you didn't know it was going to come down from that 1160, you're just stupid. Without moving EPS at all, without anything really spectacular. We affirm our buy rating for the long term with our technical analysis suggesting an upward trajectory toward critical resistance levels in 2024. While risk exists mainly from broader economic factors, again, the macro, the risks are never really SoFi specific. They're always external forces, which how can a company control that? The overall technical setup points toward a potential breakout. Exactly. Technicals, fundamentals, net profit, it's all coming together and it's going to push the stock upward. And you're going to combine that with really irrational, foolish shorts and bears starting to cover. I mean, what point are they going to admit they were wrong, guys? When it's getting put in the S&P 500 after, 6 straight quarters of gap net profit or whatever the case may be, and they're just making free cash flow, when they start to pay a dividend, I mean, these things are going to happen. SoFi is not going away, guys. These direct deposits, these deposits, are just not going away. Um, and 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 that's just the way it is. Chaos Perez, what's up? Good to see you. Good to see you back. Haven't seen you in a little while. What's up, man? Diversification drives 10th record revenue. This is critical, guys. Everybody's saying they're just all their eggs are in the personal loan basket. That's where they're making. And of course, there's still a big part of their business, but the diversification and cross-selling is there. We need more cross-selling. We need lower customer acquisition costs, but it's happening, guys. It's happening. So you can't sell somebody, you can't cross-sell them a home loan if nobody's doing home loans. You can't cross-sell somebody a student loan or bring someone in with a student loan, cross-sell them something else if nobody's doing student loans. Like SoFi has been doing this with one goddamn hand behind their back, and the other hand, they've been like forced to punch themselves. They're like, if you had a really big, strong older brother, it's like, why are you punching yourself? He's got like grabbing your hand, like what? That's what they've been doing to SoFi, and the other hand's tied behind their back, and they still perform. What have you guys done lately? That's what Anthony Noto did. What did you do? Nothing. What did I do? Nothing. I bought SoFi. I was just smart enough to buy SoFi. Thanks for the super. Hey, have a great night, Catfish. I appreciate you joining me, man. I know you got a lot of your own shit going on. And guys, again, Tyler Self, sub this guy's channel, watch his live streams. It's a lot of fun. Thanks, Tyler. Thanks for joining me, Catfish. Appreciate you, brother. Heirloom Cedar, Q4 pre-earnings run up this time. If FOMO seems, yeah, I mean, guys, they decided to attack the stock. They were shorting it and borrowing before the ER came out. They smelled weakness. They smelled blood in the water. They thought we can just kill this stock prior to net profit. And maybe they won't make a gap net profit anyway. They thought if really that'll be the chance we can just put them in the ground. We can end them. We can reverse split them. And it just didn't come to pass. Guys, remember the open interest on these puts. Look at the fucking open interest on these puts at 6. I mean, come on, guys. 46,000 open interest at 6, 8,200 open interest at 550. I mean, there's more open interest at 550 puts than we're at 750 calls. Are you kidding me? And everybody's always buying these calls like an idiot. Okay, there's 11,750, but there's more, you get my point. I mean, they were expecting to drive the stock down after the CR below 6. I mean, that's what the options are telling me. And you know, if you guys don't see it and it scares you and you want to dump down here, I mean, I'm not telling you what to do. I don't give financial advice, but that's certainly not a course of action I would ever take because I'm not an idiot. Diversification. So notably, 67% of the growth in adjusted net revenue dollars during the recent quarter was driven by non-lending businesses, specifically the technology platform financial services segment, demonstrates SoFi's agility, strategic focus, developing complementary services, financial technology solutions beyond its lending core. Diversification. You guys go through the rest of this article. I don't really want to read it. I got to get out of here. But SoFi's financial services soar 50% growth in products. We've gone over all this. We've gone over the ER. But leveraging rising rates for record net interest income and diversified lending success. Again, student loans, home loans, both surprised, big to the upside. I think Q4 is going to be absolutely massive for student loan originations. I like, I like almost 4 billion in deposit growth. I like, you know, I like them to at least double student loans from last quarter. So I think Q4 is going to be just an epic biblical blowout. And they can sell these loans. A much ballyhoo was made about the fact that SoFi was maintaining some of the risk and how they securitized these loans with BlackRock, some blah, blah, blah. I think SoFi knows exactly how many of these loans are going to default. The freaking credit scores they're getting are insane. It was 780 on the student loans. So they're just tightening and tightening and tightening the requirements on personal loans and only lending to people who don't need the money and can definitely pay it back and just want to save money on interest. And that's why SoFi is doing so well, and they will continue to do well. They will turn in that gap net profit in Q4. Basically, the concerns: loans are going bad, they can't sell loans, it's disproven by the numbers. Valuation concerns, I think, are just completely backwards. I think the stock is significantly undervalued, as do the most qualified analysts. The lack of growth, that FUD, that dog just don't hunt. It's just not true. They keep raising guidance, 34% on the top line, more and more EBITDA, more and more. They're promising gap net profit at the bottom line, and importantly, they keep raising guidance. So people like Chiavarini keep lowering their numbers for Q4 2024. It's just it's going to look like an even bigger asshole than he looked like this year. It's just going to be dead wrong again, and after all, that's his job. He's certainly not trying to be right. But again, just my opinion. Student loans are going to be huge, home loans are going to be huge, and the unforeseen financial disaster that the shorts are now praying for is just not going to happen. And they're going to be hung out to dry. Guys, it's a SoFi stock. It's un poco mas, where we give you just a little bit more. My name is DannyDealz for Hurricane Lopez and Stock Karen. We'd like to say good evening. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Have a good night. Bye-bye.